Hello there, my name is Walt Finch and I'm president of the Wiconisco Creek Restoration Association. We're a watershed group in northern Dauphin County. Been involved in a number of restoration projects for probably 10 years or longer. The one we're standing in front of right now is a limestone sand dosing project here in the headwaters of the west branch of Rattling Creek. This is a creek that begins in the Haldeman State Forest, has suffered from acid rain damage to the ecosystem. Despite the fact that we're in a pristine wooded area, pH in this creek has been measured as low as 3.6 or 3.9 in some of the spots. Unbelievably acid, due to the fact that the geology here contains no natural limestone. We've got sandstone and granite, and the buffering capacity of this creek and the whole watershed actually here has suffered dramatically during the 90s. In fact, it was measured very little life. No mayflies could be found anymore. We heard there was a plan in place to do some restoration of this creek using limestone sand in the headwaters as a way of raising the pH and to buffer the acid rain. We're at one of our 6 dosing sites here. This one's called Minnick's Hit, where our volunteers, since 2000 actually we began this, we've been hand shoveling this limestone sand, and it's made a dramatic difference. As you'll see when we get down to the mouth of this creek, there are again native trout and other trout. One of the things to be aware of when you're looking at a project like this is the fact that we are dumping sand right into the water, and it's a limestone sand which will dissolve. We're sensitive to what biologists have told us that it could clog up the gills of fish and actually cause some problems. We're sensitive to that, so we don't overdose it. We do it on a minimal basis just to keep the pH high enough. The other thing in response to that would be there's a bunch of native sand here already from sandstone, so it's not like we're introducing something that's totally foreign to the ecosystem. What I'd like to do is show you how we can put some sand in here and see the reaction that occurs in the water, and possibly take you downstream then and show you what the results are. Once the acid damage has been mitigated, it's possible that this entire creek can become again full of life, minnows and all the insects that should be here. It's one of the last exceptional quality fisheries left in Dauphin County, so that's why it's important that this project continue. Our volunteers have worked long and hard hours, and with our partners DCNR, the Dauphin County Conservation District, DEP, we've been able to keep this project rolling along. This is a calcium carbonate or limestone that we got from a quarry in New York, and it's over 90% pure calcium carbonate, which essentially it's crushed clamshells is all calcium is. So we throw this into the water, and it reacts and neutralizes acid and adds alkalinity to the water. You can see instantly that limestone sand pretty much dissolves in this acidy water. And
is that all you put in? Is that the amount you normally put in?
Usually put in about, we try to get in about half a ton at a time or so. Which would, it's about 50 pounds in one of these shovels when it's wet like this. I like to have some very large friends that come up and help. The more the merrier. We've had the bike club come up. There's a Rattling Creek Single Trackers bicycle club who does trail work up here and ride a lot. We've had those guys helping us. They see the wisdom in restoring this creek, as well as other sportsmen. One of the things I'd like to mention is that we've got a dedicated core of volunteers who come up here and shovel this stuff. Bill Nace from Millersburg, Randy Bretz, Mountain Man, and myself. And we pay for this stuff out of our own pocket. We've received some grant money to reimburse us. But I'd just like to mention that when we get this stuff delivered, it's 20 tons per site, and we generally have 6 sites going. It costs us close to $3,000, mainly trucking costs, to get this stuff in here. If anybody from the National Guard would like to volunteer their helicopters to deliver it for us, we'd certainly appreciate that. As you can see, it's a simple fix to a complex problem. Okay, here we are down at the Wiconisco Reservoir. As you can see in the distance where the east branch of Rattling Creek flows into the reservoir. We're standing at the mouth of the west branch. And as you can see, the results of all our hard work in sand dosing have improved the aquatic biology to the point where trout now congregate here and they face upstream. If you take a pH reading here now, you would see that it's vastly improved over what it had been over the last several years. We began the sand dosing project in 2000, and you couldn't stand here back then and see fish. Now you can. Families from town, joggers, bicyclists, you see a lot of them come up here just feeding the fish like we're doing. It's just such an amazing success story, and to have been part of it, and to our watershed group to be a partner with the DEP and DCNR and all the other partners. It's just been an amazing, wonderful thing.
And do they automatically go upstream then?
Oh yeah, that's part of the salmon family, so they always look for the spawn.
Oh yeah. And when do they spawn? Generally.
Okay, this limestone sand dosing project here in this section of our watershed is one of many that we have going on. Our watershed is about 160 square miles. Our creek is the Wiconisco Creek, and it's about 42 miles in length. The headwaters are near the town of Muir, just to the east of Tower City, and the Porter Tunnel mine has been the bane of that creek forever. Now, fortunately, for the first time since the 1920s, treated. The water has flown through a treatment system since early this fall. Looking good. It's a very exciting time for the Wiconisco Creek. That project of a diversion well, which we attempted to maintain for years, was extremely labor intensive and discouraging project. Now with the official treatment system in place, that project's no longer necessary. We're going to see an explosion of life coming back to the creek, I predict, within the next few years. So it's a very exciting time for the volunteers. We have another project called Bear Creek, which is just beginning the construction phase of the cells. That's north of Lycan. A small tributary high in iron adds a lot of metals to the creek. Once we get those cells in operation, we'll see a dramatic change as well from lichens downstream in the Wiconisco watershed. And our groups have been active with partners. DCNR, we've partnered with DEP on some cleanups and tree plantings. We've had a newsletter in circulation for quite a while, and also made t-shirts showing off our watershed on the back of the shirt. I should have worn one of those today. In addition, we're going to begin a project very soon near Millersburg, near the Ned Smith Arts Center, which would involve restoring some of the creek bed there with boulders and trees. Trout Unlimited's involved with that one, another one of our partners. And the Western PA Coalition for Abandoned Mine Reclamation has just given a grant for that project as well. That'll be happening this spring. So a lot of projects in the works, some encouraging things for the Wiconisco watershed, and this is just one small part. The tributary that feeds the Rattling Creek, which is an important tributary of Wiconisco Creek, it all adds up as you go downstream. Better water to begin with, of course, the better water you have downstream. So it's certainly a pleasure to share these projects with you, and I want to thank you for coming along today.